We are live. Good afternoon. Welcome. My name's Paul Bursey and this is successcafe.tv. Also with me is
Warren Connolly.
Great.
Nice to see you folks today.
Absolutely. Although we can't see you.
but if you write in the comments, we'll know you're there.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that if you're here live, put a #1 in the comments, and if you're here as a replay, then put #2.
As a replay? As a replay? Yeah, as a replay.
Well, as in they come in.
Interesting concept, that.
Yeah. What it is they see it and think I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
And people like on the podcast, that won't make any difference because they'll listen to it when they want to listen to it. YouTube the same, but on here it's going to be whether you're here now or later. And we love you all regardless. And please show the love by liking and sharing if you find it useful. Well, today's subject is how to score sky-high confidence. It's something that I feel quite passionate about. And what about you, Warren? Confidence.
That's something that has kind of grown on me over the years, is confidence. Yeah.
I mean, to be true, I've always been a fairly confident person, sometimes very confident. And but now I think I have high confidence virtually all the time. There was a time when I didn't have, I had very low confidence for about a year, and I still can't put my finger on it. I have no idea why. But all I did was up my personal development. That's all I did.
Okay.
And took a step back from what I was doing as a business and built myself up again. Since that time, which was about, I don't know, it must have been a lot. I just can't even remember what it was now. I've not dipped.
It's a good thing you can't remember what it was. That's good.
Yeah. So, but becoming more confident is a vital piece of your life, and I know it. As I said, I know it is for me. What about you, Warren? Do you find it a very integral part of your life?
Yeah. Ever since the day I started to look at my own confidence levels and how to sustain my confidence, it has become very much an integral part of my life, definitely. Because no matter, also the thing is that people are perceived to be confident, but they're not necessarily confident. Many people that perceive to be confident put on a show, and this was something that I was doing at one stage. I was putting on the show, and people perceived me to be confident, but I wasn't. I was actually terrified. And it's since then I've kind of learned the tools, personal development. I've learned the tools as to how to become confident naturally, how to be more naturally myself, and in that way be more confident about who I am.
I suppose the key is overcoming, because we all have times when we're probably lacking in a bit of confidence, and it normally means, or a lot of times it means, you're lacking in a skill and you haven't practiced it enough. Okay, that's not necessarily true, but it does for a lot of entrepreneurs, sports people like that, business people. You find you're lacking in certain areas. Well, you should do something about it. That would be my advice.
Well, you could do something about it. It's.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to improve, I mean, I would strongly suggest you do something about it. But it's your choice at the end of the day. Absolutely, you've got to live or rise or fall on what you do, and your mindset and your attitude and how you face things. So if your back is up against the wall and you feel like quitting and giving up, what I would say is seek guidance.
Mm-hmm. So
if you're in that position now, listening to this call, come and talk to us. It's not going to cost you anything, Quick, a 5-10 minute blooming call, and we can point in the right direction.
The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to invest in something, and that's your time and yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely.
So the bottom line for everyone, if you so want it, of course, is to become confident and remain confident. So it's all about the non-negotiable things, you know. And I'm not really going to go into those, but it's pretty obvious that there's certain things you would have to do, and they're all enjoyable. I mean, I love all this. It's all enjoyable stuff. It's not overwhelming or confusing or anything like that. We don't deal with anything like that, and we never will. So look, you simply must acquire confidence and learn how to keep it if you want to succeed at quite a high level at anything. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, confidence is just an integral part of how you able to, being able to perceive yourself as being confident gives you that boost, and whether it's your ego or whether it's yourself, it gives you that boost that you need so that you can kind of keep that momentum going or build some level of momentum. And some people are comfortable. They've resigned themselves to the fact that they're not confident people, and their lives are kind of like where it is, and it's not going to deviate from that either side. And they're happy with that, just to plug along and just to be that, I mean, and I don't mean this and when I say this, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, because it is what it is, and not everybody is the same. But some people are just comfortable being the sheep, being a sheep, part of the herd, and not necessarily needing to apply any level of confidence or portray any level of confidence. And that's totally okay, because we're going to get that, in all aspects of nature and life. You have the flip side of everything. So, but if you do want to achieve in life, and if you would like to amount to something and create a legacy or something in that ilk, then confidence is most certainly a big part of that. And I mean, I can just look at my own journey, having developed confidence over the years for myself, having been a very shy, insecure man. I was introverted. It's just, in a nutshell, I was pretty introverted. But on the outside, people could see me as quite a happy, bubbly person. And when I learned a bit about confidence and my own abilities and what I could start doing with myself, then that confidence level rose. But in the beginning, it wasn't really confidence; it was just the show, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And then I learned the tools. Then I was shown the tools, and I started to do some research and looking into how can I acquire the tools to naturally grow my own confidence levels. And when I did, it literally did change my life.
Yeah, I think there's having confidence that for you as an individual, but there's also if you're in a business or a sport that has team members, you've got to understand this, that no person will follow anyone who lacks confidence.
True.
And is unsure of who they are, where they're going.
True.
Yeah. So it's very, very important that, if you are a leader or perceived as a leader or manager, then confidence is going to be very, very important for you. Because can you imagine being a manager or something like that and having people under you that are far more confident than you? They'll probably take your position.
Yeah.
Not that I want to make you feel that you're in trouble, but but it's important because that they see you and you want people to trust you and respect you and see that you've got integrity and that you are not arrogant, but just confident. Confident in what you do, confident that you can lead people, and confident you can lead yourself, more importantly, So
the first time I was ever thrust into a leadership role in the wellness industry, when I was, before that I'd had other leadership roles working in hospitality. But the first time I was actually thrust into a leadership role in the fitness and wellness industry was, I was as a fitness manager, but I had no clue what I was doing. I'd been a fitness instructor for like 4 months, I think it was. And I was put into a position, and there was no one to guide me, no one to lead me, no one to show me the ropes. They just gave me all the tools, but I didn't know how to use most of the tools. And I was young. and I was managing a double-story fitness facility that was huge, um, and I had a team of trainers with me and things like that. And yeah, I, you know, um, it was very difficult because I was trying to lead the same people I'd become friends with prior to being a leader within the team, within the group. And I just didn't have the experience for it. I didn't have the confidence either because I was also new to the industry. I was very new and fresh, and ripe for the picking, so to speak, because they targeted me, some of those guys. But some of them I'm still friends with to today. And that, I think that was also testament to the fact that, when I became their manager or their leader, I didn't come from a place of ego, like, look at me now I'm a manager. But it was very challenging to get them inspired, to get them to be motivated and driven, because one moment I'm their friend, the next moment I'm trying to put some stipulations on their back, on their shoulders, and things like this. So it was very challenging. And you need confidence in those circumstances. It did help my confidence, most certainly, because once I was able to start achieving and identify, oh man, my confidence grew, because then I could see that it was possible for myself to do that. And having come from a background where I was very introverted, that was even more of a surprise for me that I had that in me. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, look, I think a lack of confidence can seriously impact your ability to win or be successful, and if you lack any confidence, then there's a good chance you can be trampled on verbally, bullied, So for those people that have been bullied, I fully understand. Yeah. I'm impossible being bullied. I don't know why. It was just, I just have a fight. If I got bullied, I had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets rid of all that. I mean, I can't say that on both 2 occasions at school when I had fights. I can't honestly say I won, but I didn't lose.
But you didn't lose, yeah. You stood up to yourself, stood up for yourself.
Well, one of them who's now dead, but one of them he became a good friend.
Do you have something to tell us, Paul? Do you have a secret?
What do you mean? No. Unfortunately, he died from cancer. So,
okay.
But no, I hadn't seen him for years. So, but
yeah, there were a couple of times when that happened with me as well. When I was younger, yeah, I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was even bullied by my own sibling, and there was a couple of times when I put people in hospital, because I didn't want to fight. I never wanted to fight, but sometimes I was pushed into a corner. I had my back up against the wall, and there was have you ever seen that? The analogy when there's a trip there's a switch that trips in your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And when the dragon comes out, the dragon's let loose. Yeah. And so a couple of times when I was a kid, I put people in hospital. I wasn't talking as an adult.
Yeah.
Because and I didn't like that. I don't like it. It's not nice. But fortunately, one aspect of having high levels of confidence is that, in order to achieve a high level of confidence, you need to have a certain higher level of emotional intelligence, I believe. We don't all need to be what's his name, the Wolf of Wall Street type of confidence. We don't need to have that.
No, that becomes arrogant. It becomes egocentric.
It's super confident, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But one thing I have learned over the years is that to have true confidence is to have a higher level of emotional intelligence as well, and be able to assess situations for what they are. Because when you're confident, you're generally more peace of mind. You're able to assess situations a lot better. You're less panicky, and then you have this emotional attachment to whatever decisions you're making. But you're also able to detach from it in the same breath. So. And when you're a kid, it's not easy to identify with that. But I do see that now in myself as a kid. I'd always had a higher level of emotional intelligence from that perspective, but I just didn't understand. I didn't know how to use it. So yeah. And then when I was pushed into the corner and my back against the wall, yeah. So, but it's
my back was put into the corner on a couple of occasions, but I wasn't backed into a corner. I was the hunter
okay.
as a police officer, and
Yeah.
I can't really go into details because I can't give times, locations because it's not good. But
No.
but yeah, I mean, I had a couple of times when that dragon came out, and it was bad news for the other person.
Yeah, it is.
Luckily, that it was a long time ago, so now I've finished that last bit of emotional intelligence. There was obviously a gap that I needed filling.
Yeah.
So it's I'm glad although I do sometimes miss a little bit of a scrap, I've got to say, but
Oh well.
but that was the nature of the beast when I was a police officer. So and
There's always the boxing ring.
I did that as well.
I know that. That's what I suggest. That's what I said. That if you miss the scrap, there's always the boxing ring.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Enjoyed that. My nose doesn't think so because it's all bent. But so moving on. As I say, if you're in a networking business or anything like that, then obviously confidence is extremely important because it helps you make connections with prospective clients and prospective business partners, and it can assist you to build really, really strong relationships over time. So I think it's very, very important, and you can teach yourself it.
Oh yes,
you can teach yourself. And it is a learned thing. Generally, it's something you can work on.
I think people with naturally high levels of confidence are as rare as people that have a natural six pack. They're far and few between. So it is definitely a learned skill. In some cases, it's more natural than not. And also, it depends on a kid's ability. I mean, an individual's growth and development and upbringing as well. Sometimes parents instill high levels of confidence in their kids as they grow older, but that also is, I've seen this on the flip side as well, where those kids buckle under that pressure. They on the surface they appear to be very confident. They're fully assured of themselves, and not necessarily egotistical or anything like that, or bullies or anything along those lines. But they're just super confident kids, and then until one day they are faced with a situation where the environment around them changes, and that could be anything. It could be having to move schools. It could be a loss of a family member or somebody close to them. It could be the family, for example, like there's an economical downturn, and the parents or the father is not earning an income anymore, and all of a sudden that livelihood that they've experienced and they've been comfortable with all their lives disappears, and from underneath them, that confidence can very quickly disappear. And I've seen that happen as well, and it's happened with me as well too. But from an observer's perspective, I've seen it happen quite a few times. And then this is when the tools that you can learn and understand and comprehend and be able to comprehend what it's all about. If you learn those tools, those are your saving graces, because now you can always revert back to what you've learned and then be able to use that and apply it, and remind yourself that as much as we may be confident today, tomorrow we may, just like you had that slump, you had that patch in your life where you weren't confident in yourself, or your own abilities. And I think many of us, and anybody watching this now live or on the replay, will be able to testify to the fact that we've all been through that. I think it's just a natural recourse of life.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, I mean, you can look at myself and think, well, yeah, I know I'm a confident person. I know I can do things, but on occasions, and we've had conversations over the last year and that about things you lack. Okay, and there was a couple of things that I lacked, and it's very easy to moan about things, and I have to put my hands up and say, yes, I did, and as I say, but in the end, there it is. You're still lacking.
Yeah.
You moan about it or whine or whinge or
but if you're moaning about
people, it's like, you've got to do something about it. And I got on and done something about it,
Unfortunately, as a society, we become so conditioned to moan about stuff that we're lacking, or there's of lack around us in somewhere, that we become so conditioned to moaning about it that we don't actually see the answers when they present themselves to us.
Yeah.
Because we're so bogged in the idea of moaning and that lack, that shortfall of stuff. So we're so focused on that it keeps perpetuating itself. And then one day a miracle may occur. People don't believe in miracles enough, I think, as well. This is the other thing. If we believed in miracles more often, I think people would identify with miraculous events going on around them more frequently, and lives would change. So when they do present themselves, it's difficult to see because you're in this quagmire of complaining and moaning, and just everything is going bad for you. And then it snowballs.
I think people, when they hear the word miracle, especially if they're not of a religious nature, they switch off. But a miracle can be someone having a baby.
Yes.
Let's get it down to what miracles can be.
Yes.
A miracle can be finding a £50 note on the floor.
Yeah.
So a miracle is what you want it to be. And if you were a tearaway, maybe you're a criminal as a youngster, and now you're very successful and honest and with someone with integrity, a businessman, then to me that's a miracle.
Yeah.
You've managed to switch it round. Whatever that is, I'm not the best. I don't think miracle is the best word for me. I don't. I mean, there's no doubt it is a great word. But you see it all the time where people turn their lives around, and I think it's fantastic. So
yeah, so a miracle is not something that you want to just bandy around, like you know what I mean? Just bandy around for everything to describe anything and everything. It's like people using the word hate these days. Just throw it around everywhere. But a miracle is not necessarily that. But again, as you've touched on, we don't need to look at it from a biblical sense either. You don't have to have a burning bush to experience a miracle. As you say, a miracle is a baby being born. A miracle is also, in my eyes, the moment your child realizes something about themselves. That's a miracle, in my eyes as well. Because as a parent, when your child realizes an ability that they have, they themselves have created a miracle. A miracle could be as simple as getting up in the morning to take your dog for a walk and witnessing a sunrise. That's a miracle. The fact that you were able to get up out of bed today in the morning is a miracle in itself. There are so many people who have not made it through today, and their talents, their skill set, their knowledge, everything about them is so far superior than us, but they didn't make it through today. And the fact that we did is an opportunity for us to excel and for us to gain confidence, for us to achieve and push ourselves to that point where our level of confidence is deserving of being allowed to have lived in today's life today. This is the way I look at miracles, really. It's any and every moment, but it doesn't have to be a miraculous thing to be a miracle, if it makes sense to you.
Yeah. I think, but the subject of today's call is sky high confidence, and but no, I mean, I think also that sky high confidence can also bring you luck.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it brings you luck is because you're doing the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So more. Whereas if let's say, if you didn't have confidence, you might miss it. Right? When you're confident and aware aware that you are confident, you don't miss so much.
True. Very true.
So you will see that one thing that makes a difference. Whereas if you're feeling down, or you're moaning or whining or whinging, like I've done on occasions, then basically you will miss, when something great comes along, you'll miss it. You just won't see it.
Yeah, you won't.
And it could be the answer to what you were moaning about.
True.
You know,
if you just stop moaning for a moment, then you would see it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I need you to verify something for me.
Go on.
Brian Taylor says he has bundles of confidence. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a very.
Just so you know, he's a fellow referee of mine, but no, he borders on arrogance.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No, Brian. Yeah, we all want to be ultra confident, so we must be able to switch it on. It's not, you don't think about it all the time, but sometimes, you know, if you're going to go and do a call, maybe a call like this, or maybe you're going to go and walk on stage, you have to change your state. You have to change the emotional feeling you've got. And sometimes, yes, we're acting.
Yeah.
Although we don't realize it, we are. I mean, we don't walk, when I'm sort of quite excited about this call, I don't walk around like that all day long. It's just like, you know, you have to up your game sometimes, and that's you have to be attractive to someone, right? Because otherwise, people will turn off. I mean, everybody might turn off already. I don't know, but
I don't think Brian has. He says he loves our work. No, he says loving your work. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, man. Please share our work.
Now, hats off to Brian. He's actually retired police officer, and he's driving ambulances.
Oh wow!
So very well.
Is he working as an EMT, or is he just driving them?
I think maybe he's just a driver, but I'm sure he'll let you know if he's not. But fantastic work. I mean, he's gone on and done it. So
wow, good for him. That shows the man was born to be of service.
Yeah. So what are one of the keys? Well, I think that I think I alluded to it earlier, is personal development. Okay. Mm-hmm. You've got to allow yourself time each day to do personal development. It's your choice. No, I'm not ramming it down your neck or anything like that. I can only tell you from 1979 until now, with a few gaps, but mainly I've been doing personal development, and it is the best thing I've ever done.
Best thing since sliced bread,
by far. Mm-hmm. Because it also improves when you're dealing with people.
Can you remember who was the first? Can you remember who was the first personal development mentor or trainer that you experienced?
Jim Rohn.
Okay.
Jim Rohn, legend.
Me too. It was the first
Absolute
one.
Legend. I mean, I love
him and John Maxwell. Him and John Maxwell were the first two that I actually engaged with. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you can master your environment as well, and bear in mind you are sum total of the 5 closest people that you mix with.
True.
Okay. So just be aware that every day, it's not an exact science sometimes you can't control who you're with. Mm-hmm. Okay. But most times you can. That's all I'll say.
You can't control who you're with all the time, but you can always control who you are.
Absolutely.
When you're with those people.
Yeah.
That's up to you. That's entirely up to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been funny enough, the other person that had quite a tremendous effect on me is Tony Robbins. And he talks about the 3 principles of confidence. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first one, can you guess what the first one is?
I've done UPW with Tony, and I've listened to his work for so many years. But 3 principles of confidence.
It's a visual thing.
Yeah, okay. It's
something you can do. Well, I'll speed it on and say it's body language.
Body language. Yeah.
Body language is so, and I'll tell you what, being a police officer, body language is everything. Okay,
That's
you
definitely.
cannot show weakness as a police officer. Trust me.
True.
With body cameras now, it's a little bit different. You've got to be a little bit careful. But we didn't have that hindrance when we were police officers.
Hindrance.
Oh, trust me. To me, it'd be a hindrance. But body language, eye contact, big one. Your handshake. You hate shaking someone's hand is weak and limpy, and it's all
Fishy.
It's all
fishy
like
handshake.
it's like they've been put their hand in water or something, and it's like I don't know. But to stand up straight is another one. As much as you can, of course. And so ask yourself a question. And what is my posture like? How am I breathing? Is it strong? Is it or is it noticeable? Is it shallow? These are all very, very important things. But then the other things you've got to think about, the negative states that you can be in, is slouching.
Oh yeah, slouching will bring your energy down very quickly.
Yeah, slouching. I've written them down here. So shallow breathing, I said, hang your head down. Now, slouching and hanging your head down is fine if you are climbing the side of a hill or the beginning part of a mountain where you've got to drive on and lean into the mountain. But it's not very good for walking along the road at night or during the day. It looks horrible.
Not just that, but look, this is a societal thing now, and I see it so much with youngsters today, where they got stooped shoulders, slouching shoulders, and all. Their head is in front of their body, because of they perpetually sitting in this position all the time.
Yeah.
And biologically speaking, or physiologically speaking, I should say, this is going to have an impact on your energy levels. Definitely, and it's going to have an impact on your confidence levels at the same time. Because something I used to say to our daughter Laura all the time, and like when she first started walking with me and things like this, was keep your head up. Stop looking at the ground all the time. Look up ahead of you. Look in front of you. And when you're walking, you want people to see your face, not to see you looking down on the ground. And this is something that this is how she naturally walked, was to look down on the ground. And I used to remind her regularly, look in front of you, look in front of you, look in front of you, stand upright and just stare in front of you as you're walking, because that just boosts your own energy levels, and it naturally boosts your confidence. Naturally.
Yeah. Look, you've got the power to change how you're feeling by the way you walk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's important how you walk. You don't sort of shuffle along. That doesn't inspire confidence in yourself, and it doesn't inspire confidence in other people. I think it's very important what you do, but the whole thing about positivity, I think, is important as well. It's like having a little bit of an aura around you, if you want.
Yeah.
That you're someone to be listened to, maybe, and not someone who's just going to hide in the shadows. It's your choice, of course. People can do what they want, and they shouldn't be criticised for whatever avenue they take. But I can tell you, being a police officer, it was very important. Eye contact,
mm-hmm. In general,
being aware of what's around you, showing confidence, and really showing without saying anything, I'm not going to take any crap from anyone.
The worst thing is talking to somebody face to face and then never looking in the eye.
I know.
When I encounter somebody like that, I don't trust them initially. I just takes me time to learn to trust them.
Be wary, because that sometimes, in my situation as a police officer, what it could mean was that you're more confident than them, and they feel that you're overpowering them.
Intimidating,
yeah, which you have to accept. But on the other hand, it could be them thinking of a way out, or is there a weapon I can pick up? And so you have to be aware of that, and that's why body language is so important. Focus is very, very important as well. That will come from confidence.
True.
Okay, if you can stay on target, I wouldn't say any more than that. Expectations, again. When you spoke about expectations of a parent, and it sometimes affects the confidence of someone. So expectations for me, whenever I talk about it, is about me, the person, or you, the person. All right. You've got to have expectations, and expectations are a big part of confidence.
True.
Okay, and they control a lot. So having the grumps, gossiping, things like that, it's actually a sign of lack of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gossiping about someone,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then it shows that you don't think that you've got the same qualities as they have, or that you can get them.
Well, you don't have enough confidence to speak to them personally about whatever it is. So you're lacking confidence.
And I always prefer going to the horse's mouth.
Always. Yeah. It's of course.
And it never was as bad as what you thought it was.
Yeah.
You know, and also when like when people put things off, that's a lack of confidence. Like if you need to go and speak to your boss about something and you put it off, that is a lack of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's much easier to go barreling in there, in a nice way, of course, and find out what the problem is. You know, did you want to see me? You know, and you find, yes, they probably got this little thing that was bugging them that they needed sorting out. Oh, is that it? I put this off for 4 weeks. It's like, it could be paying a bill. You put it off, or you need to send a letter. It could be anything, you know. But it's easier, much easier if you just get on with it.
True.
But with it, also, confidence is part of a growth mindset. You've got to be prepared to grow every day, you know, and you've got to be constantly improving. Yeah, and you can't. A confidence can't be stagnated.
No.
You can't stagnate. Sorry,
No.
because you'll just go backwards.
Yes.
So you need to top it up a little bit every day.
Well, you won't really go backwards. You'll just stagnate, and the rest of the world will leave you behind. You know.
Yeah.
And
well, yes. I suppose it's a way of saying it's going backwards, but you know.
That's a bad way of saying it.
Yeah. And confidence doesn't necessarily come from success. Confidence comes from practice. Okay.
Confidence comes from within. Comes from within, and
yeah, absolutely comes from within. Yeah, you've got to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's really all I've got to say about confidence.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You know, it's you can go on forever, but I think that we can teach it. We can help you. We can show you put you on the right path, and just let us know. All right, it's not going to cost you anything. All right, there's no adverts today, so you know it's. But I like to see people confident. I used to help people at work all the time, and basically it would have been just showing someone how to do something and how easy it was, and they think it's a big mental monster.
Yeah.
So get confident. That's my message for today.
Now, I'd like to finish off by just emphasizing that there's two things actually. One is that don't for 1 minute think that, like what Paul and I are talking about in terms of being confident, that you need to be vocal and look like you're not afraid to speak up or do things. And no, I mean, some of the most confident people I've ever met are quiet people.
Yeah,
they're people of very few words, but they are confident individuals, and they just don't need to say too much. There's the old expression, the loudest vessels, the vessels that make the loudest noise are the empty ones, and sometimes I think about that when I'm talking too much about stuff. But the other thing that I want to touch on as well is that this is my belief here, and I honestly believe it's realistic and was true. Okay, and is that to be confident authentically confident is just to be yourself. Be yourself in every moment and every time of every day, but be yourself as in truly be yourself, because we are not here to be quiet, meek, little mice that scurry around, hide in the corners. We're not here for that. We're here to be our true selves, and our true selves are confident, strong, powerful, loving individuals. And if you can learn how to become that individual, oh man, you won't need to worry about confidence anymore. Confidence will just become a byproduct of who you evolve into towards being. It'll just be one of the many elements of you. Confidence is just such a, it is really, it's you being you and being comfortable being you, not being afraid to be you. And that instills a level of confidence that no tools can really fulfill. Really, because it's like motivation. It needs to come within. It has to. And that's one of the easiest, one of the best and most powerful ways to bring your level of confidence sky high, is to just truly, authentically be yourself. And on that note, no advertising, but I want to touch on it, is this book that I'm reading, The Biology of Belief, okay, by Bruce Lipton. Really, if you want to learn about how you as a human being, as an individual, can change your life just through your belief systems and what you believe about, this is where that, the confidence will really come from within, because you will just learn about how powerful it is being yourself and being truly yourself. And I didn't learn that from this book per se, but it is a great addition to what I have learned in the past. And this is a great tool because there's a lot of fine details and information in here from a cellular level, things like that. So
fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
We're done. I mean, actually, I could talk about loads of other stuff, but sometimes you've got to learn to know when to shut up. So I'm shutting up. So I hope you've enjoyed today's show. And if you've got any questions, please let us know, and then we'll come back and answer them. Put them on the Facebook Live on Facebook on successcafe.tv. And we're done today, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Arrivederci.
Yes. Au revoir.
With you.
See you later.
See you. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful week.